Hello and welcome to our session of Hatha Yoga for Strength and Vitality today. I hope everybody is well and happy, enjoying the rainy weather. If you're watching us from Southern California, we had rain today, which is wonderful, and we need some more, and I think we're going to be getting some more as well. Anyway, let's just remain seated for a moment. Take a deep breath. Just throw the breath out and maybe do it one or two more times. Just let go of everything you need to let go of. In a recent video, Ramakrishna Anandaji, our yoga master, was talking about pranayama, about breathing practices. And how when we do pranayamas, we can thin our negative karmas. How wonderful is that? Doing pranayamas, breathing practice on a regular basis, we can thin our negative karmas and thin ignorance, the ignorance that we sometimes have in different areas of our lives. So then, doing pranayama, breathing practices can help to thin negative karmas and thin our ignorance. That's a good thing to know. So with a straight spine, sitting comfortably, let's inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 6. Doing a simple breathing practice. Inhaling and exhaling longer and slower than we inhale. And if it's comfortable, let's add a retention to that. Inhaling for a count of 3, hold for a count of 2, and then exhale for a count of 6. And then dropping the count to sit there for a moment longer with the eyes closed. And perhaps, or I hope you can feel a difference just by doing a breathing practice, a simple breathing technique for 2 or 3 minutes. Makes all the difference in the world. In yoga, we love to do pranayama, breathing practice before meditation, because as you could see, it already calms your mind down quite a bit, which sets a great stage for meditation. Let's begin with our movements, starting with Sufi circles, making circles with the torso 3 times in each direction, stretching the lower back, opening the hips, and the opposite direction. And bring the left hand on the floor next to you. Perhaps you can bring your forearm down, bending your elbow. Inhaling the opposite arm up and arching above your head. Bring that upper shoulder back, engaging both arms in the side bend, which is also a little bit of a twist. You can gaze straight ahead or look up to the ceiling. And let's move on to the opposite side right away. And inhaling up. Let's also clasp the hands behind the back for Yoga Mudra, the symbol of yoga. With the inhalation, arching back, looking up. With the exhalation, leading with the chest forward to the mat, lifting the arms behind you. And to come out, lower your arms. Inhaling up, releasing your hands, pausing for a moment with eyes closed. And opening the eyes, let's stand up. And we'll do our standing poses. Beginning with Tadasana, feet about hip-width apart, lifting the toes up, fanning the toes out. And place them down, feel your weight evenly placed on all four corners of your feet. Cupping the belly and the lower back, lifting up the front, pushing on the lower back, lifting the arms up, palms facing up, and bring the arms back behind you, maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches. Notice your sternum is lifting, and bring the arms to the side. When the pinkies touch, turn the palms in, if the head sticks out, 2 fingers at the chin, pushing the chin back gently, lengthening your spine with your head and neck. Just feel what it feels like to stand with such a straight spine and squared shoulders. Straight, tall, and strong. And from here, let's do 5 full yoga breaths. Inhaling through the nose with the exhalation, bending forward, hands towards your feet, and with the inhalation rising up, gazing at that focal point, coming up onto the toes into the V, and exhaling down. Timing your movement with your breath. We'll do it 5 times. And let's do 1 more time. Exhaling down, filling your lungs with oxygen as you stretch up high. And coming onto the heels, hands at the chest in pranam, centering position, pausing with your eyes closed. Need to adjust the screen a little bit. There we go. And let's do the half moon pose. Feet are close together. If balance is an issue for you, keep them apart. Inhaling, arms up, left hand in front of the right, thumbs locked, stretching up on the toes, reaching up. And coming onto the heels, bending sideways to your left. Keeping that upper shoulder back, like in between 2 panes of glass. Elbows are bent. Your head is kind of framed by your arms. Strength and courage fill my body cells is the affirmation. Let's release the pose and move on to the other side right away. Inhaling up, switching hands, back hand forward. For the next inhalation, again stretching up on the toes and reaching up onto the heels and sideways to your right. Use your right hand to push that upper arm and shoulder back. This pose is supposed to stimulate and help the adrenal glands, which are so important for many hormonal functions in our bodies. And releasing with an inhalation, stretching up on the toes, reaching up onto the heels, arms to the side, pausing with eyes closed. The affirmation is strength and courage fill my body cells. And let's practice balance. Stepping 1 foot in front of the other, heel touching toes. Hands out in your peripheral vision. That helps with balance if we need it. If not, forearms crossed, hands on shoulders. And dim your eyes. And maybe if you have real good balance, we've been practicing, you might even be able to close your eyes. If not, gazing at a focal point at eye level or above. And let's switch feet. So opposite foot forward. Again, finding that straight line. Heel touching toes. And releasing, feet side by side, pausing for a moment with eyes closed, taking a couple of deep breaths. And we'll begin with a tree pose. Weight onto the left leg, bringing your right foot up inside your lower leg, upper leg, or on top of your thigh. Easing at that focal point at eye level or above. Starting out with hands at the chest, pranam, centering position. I am calm, I am poised. Let's reach around the back with your right hand. See if you can reach for the hip. If your foot is on top of the thigh, maybe you can reach over and hold onto your toes. And bring the opposite arm up, straight up by the ear. First releasing the arm position, palms to the chest, and then slowly releasing your foot. Pausing with eyes closed, take a deep breath or two. And moving on to the opposite side, weight to the right, bringing your left foot up wherever you comfortably can. And reaching around the back with your left hand, reaching for the opposite hip or thigh, opposite arm up. I am calm, I am poised. And first bring the hands to the chest. Slowly release your foot. Pausing with eyes closed. Breathing deeply. Before we do another balance pose, let's do a toe balance pose. Coming up onto the toes and pushing the big toe into the floor. I don't know if you have a carpet or on your mat, just kind of ground yourself, pushing the big toe into the floor, shifting your focal point as you twist sideways to your left. Slowly moving to the center and to your right. And back to the center with the exhalation coming down onto the heels, lower the arms. Let's do that a couple more times with the inhalation, bringing the arms up by the ears, sweeping up, inhaling up, and exhaling down. And one more time, inhaling up, stretching up high, and exhaling down. Back to Tadasana. So if the arms are in the front and the shoulders are rounded, rotate the shoulders up and back. Bring the arms into the place where you want them, by the outer seams of your pants. Okay, let's also do our eagle pose, standing eagle pose. Weight onto the left leg, wrapping your right foot around. So you have to bend that supporting leg a little bit, bending that knee a little bit. Left arm on top, elbows bent. Now bring the elbows away from you and slightly up. In the center of life's storms, I stand serene, gazing at a focal point. If you like to add a challenge, you can just kind of bend your supporting knees, squatting down a little bit. And standing back up. And first untwist the arms, then uncross the legs. Pausing again with eyes closed. And for the other side, weight onto the right, wrapping your left leg around. Right arms on top, elbows bent, palms touching. To increase the stretch, elbows forward and slightly up. And if you like, squatting down. And slowly moving back up. Untwisting your arms, uncrossing your legs. Pausing with eyes closed. And separating your feet nice and wide. In steps parallel to each other. Bring the hands to the waist. Let's warm up the lower back by making circles with the torso. Probably can feel it in your inner thighs also. Nice stretch. 3 times each direction. And standing up straight, bring your left foot out at an angle. We do the extended side triangle, quite a challenging pose, very strengthening. Arms up parallel to the floor, keeping the legs straight as we lean and reach over to the left. And when you cannot reach anymore, lower the hand down. Now your hand could be at your shin, at your ankle, at the foot, or on the floor. Opposite arm up, straight up. And if you can, look up past your outstretched hand. Finding a focal point, we need some balance here. And bring the right hand to the waist, bend the left knee. Opposite hand to the waist as well. Toes forward. Let's clasp the hands behind the back. And if you can, bring the palms together as well. Inhaling, arching back. And with the exhalation, bending forward into center unicorn pose. Now soften the kneecaps, relax the thighs, lifting the arms up and guiding your head down. And to come out, bring the hands to the waist with the inhalation. Rising up, gently arching back and standing up straight. And now we move into the opposite side. Right foot out at an angle, toes away from you, arms parallel, reaching to the right. And then lower your hand to your foot, to your leg, or to the floor. Opposite arm up, looking up past your outstretched hand. And to come out, bring the upper hand to the waist, bending your right knee, standing up, moving the toes forward. And we'll move into the side unicorns. Now bring your left foot out at an angle again. Reaching back, clasping your hands, inhaling, arching back with the exhalation, bending forward, bringing your head towards your left knee, lifting the arms behind you. With the inhalation coming up, bringing the left foot in and the right foot out, arching back, and exhaling forward over your right knee, lifting the arms behind you. With the inhalation coming up, bringing the toes forward, hands to the waist, stepping your feet together. Back to Tadasana, bring the hands to the chest, pranam, centering position. For a few deep inhalations and exhalations through the nose. Let's also do the Hand to the big toe pose, another great balance pose. Weight onto the left leg, bringing your right knee up. You can hug your knee, rotate your ankle a little bit, warming up, finding that focal point at eye level or above. Then bringing your left hand to the waist, right hand to the foot, or around the big toe, 2 fingers around the toe cap with a thumb. You want to bring that bent knee up so high that your back is straight. You don't want to kind of hunch over or bend forward. Looking at that focal point and straightening your leg as much as you comfortably can. Now, if you have real long legs, just bend in the knees, that's okay. Gazing at that focal point. Great focus and concentration. If you like, you can move your leg out to the side. And then bring it back to the center. And releasing slowly. Again, hands at the chest. Double inhale, double exhale. For the other side, weight onto the right, bending your left knee, gazing at that focal point. When you're ready, one hand to the foot, the other hand to the waist. Straighten your leg when you're ready. Perhaps move it out to the side, firmly gazing at that focal point. And slowly moving back and releasing. Pausing, breathing deeply. Stepping to the front of the mat. Feet are about hip width apart, over jackknife with the inhalation, lifting the arms up by the ears, stretching up on the toes, reaching up. And then like a swan dive, bring the arms out to the side, palms facing down, leading with the chest as you bend forward. And just hang there. You can hold the jackknife in stillness, holding on to your legs wherever you can or to the floor. You can also let the arms stay and go and sway your hips from side to side, loosening up a little more. And reach around the back, holding on to the forearms or elbows. Take a deep inhalation. With your exhalation, see if you can guide your torso a little closer to your legs. And then releasing, place the hands next to your feet and stepping back to a downward dog. So left foot back first, then right foot back. Your feet are about hip width apart. The hands are about shoulder width apart and the fingers are spread wide because we have a lot of weight on our hands and wrists. So we have to have a good base for that. Keeping a soft bend in the knees. First, take a deep inhalation. As you exhale, stretch the chest towards the knees. Really straighten the upper part of the body and then try to straighten the legs. For the next inhalation, let's move to high plank. So lowering the hips, bringing the torso forward. And you can look underneath you to see that your body is in a straight line and pull the shoulders back. Looking down, head and neck in line with your spine. And navel to the spine, engaging the abdominal muscles. For the next exhalation, lifting the hips, moving back into the downward dog. And then lowering the knees onto the mat, Pushing yourself back onto your heels, tops of the feet on the mat. For the extended child's pose. Forehead is on the mat, arms are in front of you. The knees are about hip width apart. Arms are shoulder width apart. We'll move into a pose called the Anahatasana. Anahata is the heart center, and it's a pose where we try to stretch the heart down towards the mat. With the inhalation, lifting the hips up, sliding the arms forward, forearms are on the mat, and trying to guide your chest down towards the floor. It's a great stretch for the back. Chin or forehead resting on the mat. And slowly sliding your forearms back, pushing yourself back onto your heels one more time, and resting in the extended child's pose. For cat-cow, coming up onto hands and knees, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. With the exhalation, rounding your back. With the inhalation, sagging down, looking up, moving the hips out. And again, exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, sagging down, looking up. And a couple more times with your own breath. And keeping the spine straight, looking over your left shoulder towards your hips. And over your right shoulder. One more time, left and right. Now bring the left knee to the forehead, lifting your leg behind you, looking up. And bending your elbows towards the back, guiding your forehead onto the mat. So the forearms are off the mat, the hands are on the mat. Taking the weight, most of the weight with your arms, strengthening your arms and shoulders. And to come out, pushing into the floor with your hands. Knee back to the forehead, onto the mat, and right knee to the forehead. Lifting your leg behind you, looking up, and forehead to the mat. And knee back to the forehead, onto the mat. Let's do cat-cow again, rounding your spine like an angry cat and sagging down, looking up. And then with the exhalation, sitting on your heels. With the inhalation, sliding forward into cobra pose. So we have to move low on the mat, like a cobra, like a snake. Place the hands under the shoulders, elbows are hugging the body, and looking up, shoulders away from the ears. I rise joyfully to meet each new opportunity. And let's move back to a downward dog, curling the toes under, lifting the hips, making your adjustments, holding the downward dog pose for another few breaths. And then walking your feet towards your hands, placing the palms together as you rise up, bone by bone with your inhalation. Hands to the chest. Pausing with eyes closed, breathing deeply. And stepping to the front of the mat again. We'll do a couple of rounds of salutation to the sun. With the inhalation, lifting the arms, arching back. With the exhalation, bending forward. Hands next to your feet. Left foot back, lunging, looking up. Right foot back to plank pose, high plank pose. Exhaling, knees, chest, forehead down. Inhaling, coming forward and up into cobra pose. Exhaling, curling the toes, back to downward dog. Inhaling, left foot forward, a big step. Lunging, looking up. Right foot forward, hips up, head is down. Bring the arms out to the side. Inhaling, arching back. And exhaling, arms down by your side. Hands to the floor. And right foot back, lunging, looking up. Left foot back to high plank. Knees, chest, forehead down. Sweeping forward and up into cobra. Exhaling to downward dog. Right foot forward, big step in between your hands, lunging, looking up. Left foot forward, hips are up. Inhaling, arms out to the side, palms together, arching back. And hands to the chest. Let's double inhale, double exhale. And again. Salutation to the sun, like salutation to the moon, are sequence of poses linked together in one continuous flow with the breath. So those are nice to learn if you don't know them already, because sometimes when we don't have time, a whole hour for a postures class, at home we can maybe do a few rounds of salutation to the sun or salutation to the moon. And we'll do another round. We always begin on the left and then on the right. And the different variations of salutations to the sun, the one we do in these classes, is almost a simplified version, but I work up a sweat and I think it feels wonderful to stretch backward and forward and move all the muscles in the body. So step to the front again. And instead of bringing the arms out, I sometimes bring the arms out from the side and up. And therefore the back stays nice and straight. We have a tendency when we bring our arms forward to round the back. Inhaling up, palms together, arching back. And exhaling forward, arms to the side, leading with your chest. Left foot back, lunging, looking up. Right foot back to high plank. Exhaling, knees, chest, forehead down. Inhaling up into cobra. Exhaling to down dog. Inhaling, left foot forward, lunging, looking up. Exhaling, right foot forward, hips are up, head is down. Inhaling, arms up from the side, arching back. And exhaling down again. Right foot back, lunging, looking up. Left foot back to high plank. Knees, chest, forehead down. Inhaling up into cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhaling, right foot forward, lunging, looking up. Left foot forward, hips up. Inhaling, arms out from the side and up. Palms together, arching back. And hands to the chest. Let's double inhale and double exhale, or breathe deeply. Pausing for a moment with eyes closed. And let's come to a squat. You can bring your feet together, your knees together, slowly squatting down, keeping the hands at the chest. And we'll do a side twist from the squat. So it really helps to have your knees and your feet together. They stabilize each other, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, twisting sideways, shifting a focal point. We need some balance here. And try to bring the palms to the center of the chest. Releasing to the center and moving on to the other side. And releasing to the center. Let's practice crow pose, bringing the hands down in front of us, making big hands, fingers are spread like big crow's feet. We're making shelves with the upper arms for the knees and the shins to rest on, and that connection stays, that doesn't move. Lifting the hips up and leaning forward, shifting the weight onto the hands. And you might notice one foot automatically wants to come off the floor. Pick a focal point on the floor, and then lifting the other foot as well. This pose is all about balance. Focal point on the floor in front of you. Very important. And releasing. We always say this pose has a little longer of a learning curve. It sure does. And if you haven't practiced it for a while, you might need to take it step by step and practice slowly again. Let's give it another try. Make sure the fingers are spread wide. And then releasing. Let's sit down and lie down. Lie on your back. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees to the outside. Bring the right hand on the navel, the left hand on the heart. Close your eyes. Just feel the breath rolling through your body. And bringing your attention back, bringing the knees together. We'll do threading the needle or figure four pose, also called figure four pose. Bringing your right leg on top of the left thigh, holding on to your left knee. And ideally, you hold on to the kneecap. If your hand is down at your shin, there's not much of a stretch. So bring the hands up to the kneecap. Try to lean. Try not to lean. Try to lie on your back so that your bent knee, the one that you're holding, is pointing straight up to the ceiling. Ideally, the shoulders are on the mat. Breathing deeply. There's always hip tension. Take a few deep breaths. And let's release the side and move onto the other side right away. Left ankle on right thigh or right knee, holding on to the right knee. Take deep breaths, trying to melt some of that tension away. And releasing. You can hug both knees, roll from side to side a little bit. And then bringing the legs up, straight up, perpendicular to the ground, rotating feet and ankles. And then you can lock your knees now because there's no weight on the joints. So straighten your legs, perhaps lock the knees, and dorsiflex the feet so the toes are pointing down. Lifting the arms up. Arms are parallel to each other and parallel to your legs. Yeah, let's do a strength pose for the abdomen and for the core with the inhalation, lifting the shoulders up as if you want to reach something that's too high above you. Just hold this pose and breathe. So keeping the shoulders off the mat, hold the pose and breathe. Hold, the whole body is tight. And relax, bending your knees, hugging your knees again. And we'll move into a couple of simple inversions. So bringing the arms next to you or almost a little bit underneath you, because the closer your elbows are together behind your back when you're holding inversion, the easier it is to hold it. Lifting the legs up and then moving your legs with some momentum over your hips, supporting your hips with your hands for Viparita Karani, the simple inverted pose. Legs are relaxed. You can either stay here or move further into the pose, into a shoulder stand by walking your hands further up your back. Keeping the right leg up, lower the left leg over your head onto the floor. And lifting your left and lower your right. And lifting your right leg as well. Now lower both legs into a parallel plow. So your legs are parallel to the floor. Arms are outstretched behind you, palms and forearms flat on the mat. For pose of tranquility, you can cup your knees with your palms and the elbows are in between thigh and torso, in the crease of thigh and torso. And the weight of the legs is now resting on the forearms. Pose of tranquility. And if you like, you can let the toes come down onto the mat for the full plow, encircling your head with your arms like a halo. Perhaps even ear closer, bending your knees by your ears. And you can bring your arms behind you, palms and forearms again flat on the mat. And moving back to a plow or parallel plow. And if you like to do an advanced shoulder stand, you clasp your hands behind your back or just push forearms and hands into the mat and lifting both legs simultaneously back up to a shoulder stand. And slowly coming out, prepare to bridge out one leg at a time, counterbalance with the other, or roll out bone by bone, whatever you prefer. Let's keep the knees up, bent close to the chest, arms out from your shoulders. Take a deep inhalation with the exhalation. Lower the knees over to the left, keeping the knees together with the inhalation, bring them up to the center and exhale to the right. Moving back and forth 3 or 4 times. Then rolling back and forth along your spine a few times until you come up to a seated position. Sitting with the legs straight in front of you. We'll do posterior stretch. So the feet are dorsiflexed, toes are up, hands on the thighs. Let's reach out and inhale, stretching up high. And with the exhalation, bending forward, bending at your hips, holding on where you comfortably can. Some people are at the shins, others at the ankles, others at their feet and toes. Let's just try pulling the shoulders back, looking up to the ceiling, curling the head up. Take a deep inhalation here, and with your exhalation, folding forward. Releasing the pose as you inhale, sliding back up, sitting with a straight spine, eyes closed for a moment. And for the inclined plane, left hand back and right hand back. Fingers away from you or towards you. Make any kind of adjustment that you need. Lifting the hips up, stretching the toes down, and letting your head rest back. For strength variation, you can lift your left leg up and lower slowly, and lifting the right leg up and lower. Let's bring the left knee down onto the mat, so the lower leg is parallel to the short side of the mat. Lifting the opposite leg up. Lifting your arm and looking up, posture outstretched hand. Now inhale, reaching up a little higher and bring that arm close to the ear. And lowering down, coming onto both knees. Adjusting on your mat, coming onto the other knee for the other side. First lifting the leg, dorsiflex the foot. Lifting the arm up. Looking up, posture outstretched hand. And inhale, reaching up a little higher, arm close to the ear. And lowering down. Sitting in between your heels, firm pose, hands increase the thighs and torso. Rotate the shoulders forward, up and back a couple of times. Breathing deeply, closing your eyes. And let's do some sahajams from the firm. Sahajams is breathing practice with movement. Hands are on the thighs, you're sitting in the firm pose, right big toe over left big toe. We inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, hushing the breath out, making a loud hush sound, and extending the body forward with the exhalation, and sliding back in with the inhalation, making the exhalation twice as long as the inhalation. And let's get going. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, hushing the breath out, sliding forward slowly. Inhaling back up. And 2 more times on your own. And pausing for a moment with eyes closed. And turning around, lying down, preparing for deep relaxation. If there's another movement that you've been missing, that your body is dying to do, please do what you need to be comfortable. In deep relaxation, ideally, we're lying on our backs, feet 10, 20, 25 inches apart. Legs are relaxed. Arms by our side, palms facing up. Let's double inhale, double exhale. Perhaps again. Deep relaxation is a conscious process of relaxing the body part by part. Let's try to keep your mind engaged in the process to gain all the benefits. Let's begin by seeing, feeling, or imagining a soft white mist-like light entering your room, moving towards you and gently surrounding your beautiful physical body. This light lifts you up and it feels like you're floating on a cloud. Invite this light to enter the toes of your left foot, toe by toe. Feeling arch, heel, ankle, left lower leg, knee, thigh, and hip. Your left leg is completely relaxed. Now guide this light into the right foot, toe by toe. Into your arch, heel, ankle, right lower leg, knee, thigh, and hip. Both legs are completely relaxed. You feel hollow. Now guide this healing light into your torso, entering your abdomen, your stomach, your chest. Guide it deeper inside, gently touching your internal organs with this healing light. Moving up, encircling your beautiful heart. Expanding out and filling your whole chest with this healing light. Now guide your light into the back, relaxing away tension from your lower back. Moving up through the middle part, into your upper back, relaxing all tension away. With each breath, more and more. Now guide this light into the fingers of your left hand. Into your wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. Now guide it into your right hand, right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. Peaceful light moves into your neck and throat, like a wave flowing into your face, relaxing your jaw, filling mouth and lips, entering your nose, your cheeks, moves into your ears, touches your temples, moves into your eyes and into your forehead. This peaceful light moves inside your brain, melting away thoughts and feelings. It leaves your body through your head, once more surrounding you, expanding out and filling your room with your peace. Expanding out further and leaving your room. Your peaceful light of consciousness moves through the city, over houses and trees, over oceans, mountains and continents, into space, to infinity, keeping you completely relaxed and completely in peace. Enjoy this peace. Enjoy. Gently preparing to guide your consciousness back. Bring it back over houses and trees. Back into your room, back into your physical form. Energy and consciousness enters your head, fills your brain, moves down into your face, feel it behind your eyes. Moves down your neck and throat, into your shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Vitalized energy and consciousness fills your torso from your chest, down into your stomach, all the way down to the hips, thighs, lower legs, feet, and toes. Moving fingers and moving toes, wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Let's bring the arms up. Double inhale, stretching up, vibrating with tension. Double exhale, relaxing down. Let's do that again. Double inhale and tense. Double exhale, relax. And you can roll over onto your favorite side. Just lie there for a moment longer, making a pillow with your elbows for your head to rest on. And slowly turning over more and sitting up. Let's rotate the shoulders with a little bit of tension, forward, up, and back. We need to do a little bit of energizing. After deep relaxation, and back up and forward. Stretching the left ear down to the shoulder, extending the right side of the neck. And right ear to the shoulder, extending the left side of the neck. And making circles with the head and neck, or just circles with the face, whatever feels right. A few times in each direction, opposite. Let's move to a twist. Bring the arms out and up, inhaling up, stretching up high. Left hand behind you on the floor, right hand to the outside of the left knee, twisting, looking over your left shoulder, looking back. And coming to the center again, inhaling up, stretching up high, and exhaling to the other side. And releasing to the center. My friends, this was our class for today. Thank you for joining us. We have a meditation class starting in 30 minutes. If you're not signed up already, you can still do that. There's time to do that, going on to the website or the members page and sign up for the meditation class, which starts at 5:30. And I wish you a happy week, a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy life, and stay dry. We're getting some more rain. So, namaste, my friends. Hope to see you again next week.